person next to you, it is time for you to rise up. Verse 17 says that when Jesus arrived to Bethany, Lazarus had already 4 days of being on the dead on his tomb. And that Lazarus' sisters, after four days of having their dead brother, they hear that Jesus is finally coming. And they run to his encounter. And they said, Jesus, if you would have been here 4 days ago, this would have never happened to my brother. If you would have been here, my brother would have not died. You're late, Jesus. You could have healed him, but now he's dead. And when I read this word, the Lord spoke to my spirit. And he said, a lot of times, Carlos, the youth do not believe in me because they don't see me. They don't believe in me because they don't see me. And it saddened me. I felt very saddened in the moment, but it's the truth. Because we have the tendency to place our focus on our problems. And we rush and we say, it's all done. I've lost. I'm tired of this situation. It's never going to change. I give up. Does this sound familiar? Have you ever been in this place? But let me tell you, that is the exact place that the devil wants you. Doubting, saying to ourselves, if God would have really loved me, if God really loved me, He would have never allowed this to happen to me. And we began to question Him, saying, where were you, God? Where were you, God, when I needed you the most? You're late, God. I don't need you anymore. And you begin to let your guard down. And you begin to allow the devil to jump into your life and take you hostage with the spirit of confusion, with the spirit of fear, with the spirit of loneliness, with the spirit of discouragement, with the spirit of depression, and even with the spirit of suicide. And when he finally takes a grip of you, he uses this stronghold to begin to destroy your spiritual life. Joshua 1 verse 8, God tells Joshua, keep this book of life always in your mouth. I found it very interesting that he told them, keep this book of life always in your mouth. Why would God tell Joshua to keep the book of life always in his mouth? Because he knew that the moment that you and I will forget about reading the Word, he knew that the moment that you and I forget about practicing what is in the Word, he knew that the moment you begin to forget about the promises of the Word, he knew that the moment that you begin to depart away from God, he knew that the moment you begin to close your ears to the Holy Spirit, your life will begin to die spiritually. So God tells Joshua, keep this book of life always. Keep this book of life always in your mouth. Mary and Martha come to Jesus. They express their doubt, saying, we called you 4 days ago. Lazarus is dead now. Why are you barely getting here? Verse 38 and 39 reads, Jesus, once more deeply moved, came to the tomb. And it was a cave with a stone laid across the entrance. Take away the stone, he said. Say, take away the stone. Mary's like, why do you want to remove the stone? It's been 4 days. He said, now he stinks. Why do you want to remove the stone, Jesus? What if I tell you that God is telling you the same thing today? You need to remove the stone. There are some dead dreams that I want resurrect tonight. There is a lost passion that I want to resurrect in you tonight. There is a lost hope that you thought it was gone, but I want to resurrect it in you. There is a faith that I want to restore in you. Come on, somebody. God is talking, saying, I want to restore you. I want to resurrect you tonight. Oh. I want to resurrect you. I want to resurrect your dreams. I want to resurrect the plans that I promised to your parents about you. But you have to remove the stone. And you might ask, Carlos, what is a stone? That stone is those strongholds that we were talking about. That confusion, that fear, that loneliness, that discouragement, that depression, that suicide, those thoughts of suicide. Whatever it is that you have as a stone in your life, God is saying you have to let it go. Tell the person next to you, remove your stone. You have to remove your stone. The Bible says that Lazarus was dead and wrapped up from head to toe. Death had taken a hold of Lazarus. Death had grabbed Lazarus from the grip. There was a stronghold over Lazarus' life now. Because death had come over and gripped him. Just like many of you are tired and having given up on God because spiritually you're dead. Because spiritually you are tied up. And this is why you haven't been able to declare in the victory that this is your season. Because there is a big stone of problems in front of you. And the enemy has you all tied up. There are strongholds in your life that are keeping you pressed down. And I know you want to come out of it. And I know that it's not easy. But tonight, Jesus wants to set you free and raise you up again. I'm going to say that one more time because somebody needs to believe it. Tonight, Jesus wants to set you free and raise you up again. I'm going to say that one more time because somebody needs to catch this word. Jesus wants to set you free and raise you up again tonight. Come on, put your hands together for God. Jesus wants to set you free. And if you are being spiritually pressed down, I know that you want to be set free. I know that you want to find a way out. And I know that if you try by your strength, you failed at it many times. But the Bible says that Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. That opening has always been there. The opening has always been there. The opening has always been there. Your freedom has always been there. Your answers have always been there. Your salvation has always been there. Your life has always been here. I want you to repeat after me and say, it's my time to rise up. At the age of 18, when I finally got my car, I decided to try to figure out how is it that the people in the world live. My parents were going to another church, so they didn't know if I was going to services or not. And so, what I started doing at first, I started going to church, started taking my button shirt and my tie, and then I would get that text, hey, it's time, let's go. And I would head up to the club right after church. My parents didn't know. And I started opening these doors to the enemy. And I started to try things that I had never tried in my life. And if I could tell you something tonight, is that I had never felt empty and dirtier like I felt in that moment. The moment that I opened my life to the world. The moment that I started departing from the Word. The moment that I began to turn my back to the Holy Spirit. My life immediately began to die. And I remember all the way from 18 to 21, I was doing my own thing. And I began to go away from God, began to grow numb to His presence. I wouldn't feel like worshiping anymore. I wouldn't feel like reading the Word anymore. And I wouldn't feel like going to church anymore. And I remember that one of my friends from church would say, "Hey, Carlos, I want to invite you to Puerto Rico. You want to come?" And I said, "Hey, man, you're paying the ticket. Let's go." And I remember saying to myself, this is my chance. This is my chance to go back to God. Because I know that in Puerto Rico there's a lot of churches. I know that in Puerto Rico there's a lot of men of God. I know that when we go to church over there, God is going to speak to me and I'm going to be free. And I went to Puerto Rico for 10 days. And the days passed. And God did not speak to me, nor set me free. And I came back from my trip and I was like, "God, I wanted to get right with you. I wanted to be set free. How come you didn't speak to me?" And that weekend after I came back, they invited me to the baptisms from my old church. And they say, "Hey, we're having baptisms. You should come. We're going to do it at the lake." And I was like, "Why not? I have the day off. I'm going to go." And I remember just going to the baptisms and they started singing. They started praising God. They started worshiping God. And I was there sitting in a chair with my arms crossed. And they started worshiping God and they started praising Him. And I was just like, well, why am I here? What am I doing here? And I remember that they started singing this song. Y está cayendo su gloria sobre mí, sanando heridas, levantando al caído, su gloria está aquí. Y está cayendo su gloria sobre mí, sanando heridas, levantando al caído, su gloria está aquí. And I remember in that moment the presence of God began to fall upon my life. And I was like, what's going on? What's going on? And I'll never forget this experience because for the first time, God has spoken to me. And He told me, "I forgive you." And in that moment, I began to be set free. And in that moment, things began to change. I was like, I'm feeling your presence again. I'm feeling your power again. I no longer feel numb. I no longer feel tied up. I no longer feel dead. Oh, I'm feeling your Holy Spirit. Something is being restored within me. What's going on? And it was amazing to feel God's presence even though I hadn't come after Him. Even though I hadn't come to say, "God, forgive me, please." He came to me, He said, "I forgive you." Because He knew that my spiritual life was dead. I'm going to ask you to stand to your feet. The Bible says that once they removed the stone, Jesus called Lazarus out of the tomb. "Lazarus, come And that despite him being dead, and despite him being binded from head to toe, that he came out. Now I picture this image. Jesus calls Lazarus, says, Lazarus, come out. And I picture Lazarus resurrected, coming to life, being binded from head to toe. And Jesus begins to restore his bones. And Jesus begins to restore his flesh. Everything that was dead begins to take life. And the Creator says, Jesus, come out. And Lazarus began to feel life again. And he begins to feel, oh, I can't see. I can't walk. But my Creator is calling me. I need to go towards him. And I can picture him jumping. Lazarus, come out. And he begins to jump. And he begins to jump. And he begins to head towards his Creator. Because he knew that he was back alive again. Oh. You see, for the world, your best season is when everything is going okay. But in this walk with Christ, your best season is the moment you have an encounter with his presence. Oh. Why? Why is the moment that I have an encounter with his presence my best season? Because the moment that Jesus comes to town, the demons have to flee. The moment that Jesus comes to town, the earth trembles. The moment that Jesus comes to town, those who are sick are healed. The moment that Jesus comes to town,